Hello from Southern Ontario, August 17th. So Dr. T just announced there's another global one here. You know who I mean, right? Which brings us back to cognitive dissonance. Remember that term became part of our lexicon in what, 2020, 2021? Let me get through the dry psych jargon here and then we'll get into my ramble. Meaning of cognitive dissonance. It's a psychological concept that refers to the feeling of discomfort, tension, or unease that arises when an individual holds two or more conflicting beliefs. And there's some more blah blah. People experiencing dissonance deny the conflicting information. Rationalization. People may justify or rationalize their behavior to reduce dissonance, even if it means distorting reality. Yeah, individuals may deny or suppress the conflicting information to avoid feeling dissonance. Now, we all saw that back in 2022. Sorry about the light there. I'll just kind of sit half out of the frame, whatever. They'd say, show me the science, show me the science. You could show them a science, a peer-reviewed study, anything. And they'd say, no, that's not the CBC. My mind's made up. So enough of the cognitive dissonance here. Now, at the time, when it first was that late 2019, I think, actually, but whatever, the starting date of the big global thing was, forgive me, can't use proper words here. I remember sitting with some friends of mine. They said, well, what do you think? And I said, well, sure sounds real. I mean, it's wherever you look, there's nothing to, except that. Well, what do you think? Are we going to make it? So I think it's up to the fickle finger of fate, really. Like when we go back to what was the big black one in the 12th or 13th century, hanging posies on the door didn't work. You know what I mean? Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies, we all fall down. And this was, of course, before they said it was here, but they didn't say they had anything that was safe and effective yet, right? So like everyone else, I was wondering, well, is the fickle finger of fate going to single me out or bypass me on this one? Because I don't see as how a face diaper or some plexiglass is going to do anything, right? And then it turned out to be whatever you make of it. Now, I didn't have a defining moment personally. This is my ramble here as regards then and cognitive dissonance. My point being, a person should be able to change their mind. Cognitive dissonance, people don't change their mind. At first I was thinking, well, this sure looks real, and then I started questioning things, and after a while I came to the conclusion I'm not buying it. I don't believe it. I think it's hokum. I'm still of the mind that it was. Quite firmly of that mind, in fact. But I want to share a little story with you. And this wasn't a defining singular moment unto itself for me, but it was representative of what might have been for someone else. I was watching, it was on social media, and a fellow was in a city, it was in the northeastern states. I don't know what state it was, what city it was. I'll say it was Cincinnati, just because of Johnny Fever and WKRP in Cincinnati. Might have been Cincinnati, I don't know. Anyways, he's sitting there on his couch. He has his phone aimed at the TV. And the TV is saying, look at, and I'll call it the fictitious St. Sally's Memorial Hospital or something. Tents set up, they got pylons set up for people to line up. The place is chaos, anarchy. There's people everywhere. Some of them aren't still, with us. And he's going, he's got the phone aimed at the TV. He's going, well, that's what the TV's telling me. Let's take a walk over my balcony. I live on the 3rd floor. Right across the alleyway is the fictitious, although this is not a fictitious story, what I say it was, St. Sally's Memorial Hospital. He's going, well, they got 2 tents. They got a bunch of pylons set up. They got some signs. There's nobody there. Nobody. Here, sets the phone back down, aims it at the TV. It continues to blare on the news about the chaos at St. Sally's Memorial. He gets his shoes on, slurps the last of his coffee, says, let's go for a walk. So he goes down on the street, he walks around the hospital, takes up a whole block. And again, this isn't fictional, just my names and a bit of terminology. Walks all the way around. It was early in the morning, so he saw maybe half a dozen people on the streets. Some of them with their diapers, you know. The only two people he saw at the hospital were two orderlies who snuck out a little side door to have a smoke. Goes all the way around, comes all the way back. He goes, well, okay, let's go. He just goes through the pylons, not through the pylons, up to the tents. Nobody in the tents, nothing in the tents. He's going, well, you saw what I saw. Never shows him. Takes his camera back up, sets it in front of the TV again, which is still blaring away about the war zone that isn't, in the alleyway across the street. Sits down, you hear him slurping on his coffee. He's going, well, picks up his little face diaper from the coffee table. He's going, well, I don't think I'm going to bother with this one anymore. That could have been the defining moment for me. It wasn't, but yeah. So anyways, point is, now Mr. T has told us we got another one. Right on, well, a bit early. They said it was going to come in the fall, but it's only August 17th. Yeah. So how many people are embracing it? We already see some of them on social media. How many people? I mean, if you believed in the first one, this is my point, I suppose. I know I'm rambling here, but hey, I get to. It's after work on a hot day, and I just opened a beer. The people who believed it the first time and still believe it, they're going to have to believe this one as well. Because if they don't, it'll put them into a position of cognitive dissonance, won't it? Yeah. Interesting times we live in a sort of bummer, downish, depressing and frightening way, but they are interesting. Anyways, cognitive dissonance. Welcome back.